What is up, guys? Delboy here. So disappointing news dropped this morning that Juergen Braehmer has pulled out of his World Boxing Super Series semi-final against Callum Smith. This fight was supposed to go down on Saturday, so obviously the cancellation being Tuesday, they've only a few days to get a replacement, and the guy they have as a replacement is a 34-year-old Dutch fighter by the name of Nieky Holzken. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, but we'll go with it for now. He is 13-0, and he has 10 knockouts on the resume, and he's an orthodox fighter who is listed as 5'11.5". He is coming off a career best win over Viktor Polyakov. He's a tough guy who campaigns at middleweight and super middleweight, and Holzken was the first guy to stop him. Polyakov actually recently beat Giovanni De Carolis, and Giovanni De Carolis obviously put up a good showing against Tyron Zeuger. And he also got a stoppage win over Vincent Feigenboots. So that's the type of level Holzken is operating at. You know, he is a European level fighter at best. He's not terrible, you know, carries a little bit of power, comes to fight, but he's nothing special. He's pretty rudimentary. Interestingly enough, he actually is more known for his kickboxing background. Obviously, Holland have produced some very good kickboxers over the years, so I'm sure Holzken is a natural fighter. I'm sure he's a tough guy, but the reality is he's not a proven commodity in boxing, and he's not really stepped above European level. And I'm probably being kind when I say he's proven at European level. His win over Polyakov was good, but you know, we need to see more. So I'm sure he's going to go in there, he's going to give it a go, but you'd expect a routine win for Callum Smith, who's obviously better prepared. He's a lot bigger, he's a lot more experienced, he's a better technician. From what I see, Holzken does nothing better than Callum Smith apart from throw kicks, and unfortunately for him, he can't kick in this fight. It's a boxing match. So yeah, you'd expect Callum Smith to come through this one with relative ease. And listen, we've been looking at the World Boxing Super Series. It's gone through so far without a hitch. The cruiserweight tournament's been excellent. You know, nobody's been injured in that tournament, and that's played out really well. But in the last 2 to 3 days, the super middleweight tournament has, you know, been depleted, to say the least. Juergen Braehmer versus Callum Smith was a really good fight, in my opinion. I was looking forward to it. And not only that, the other finalist, George Groves, he might not even make the final. So the thing is with tournaments, I love the tournament concept. I hope there's another season of the World Boxing Super Series. I hope these keep on going. But the thing is with tournaments, injuries, they happen. It's boxing. And for the next tournament, I hope they learn from this. And obviously there are only two solutions. The first being have better standbys ready in event of injuries. So if you want to keep the tournament moving, you know, just have better standbys available. But not only that, if you're not going to have, if you don't want to fork out on good standbys, then be more generous in terms of rescheduling. And that obviously, doing that obviously kind of, it does slow down the tournament. We suffered that in the Super 6. But ultimately, if you want the best quality matchups, you've got to do one of the two. Either have quality standbys ready, maybe have them scheduled for an undercard fight, and you know, and if the main event pulls out, he can come in and then sort of take his place. Alternatively, they need to be more lenient on rescheduling, especially in the final. Like George Groves, I mean, it'll be a travesty if he isn't in the final, because he's fought his way there. He beat Jamie Cox, he beat Chris Eubank Jr. He should be in the final. And you know, if that means them holding back the tournament by a month or two, so be it. So be it. I think George Groves deserves that chance, and any finalist does, to be quite honest, especially if they've gone through each stage. So yeah, they do need to have better standbys on guard for the next tournament, or at the very least be more generous with rescheduling. And this is a problem with tournament boxing. Like I said, when it works, it works. The Cruiserweight tournament has been excellent, to say the least. It's been brilliant. But, you know, the Super Middleweight tournament, first and foremost, they couldn't get all the top names to join. And obviously now it's been hit by injuries and pullouts. So, and it just goes to show how big of a risk these guys are taking by putting on these Super Series, because they're spending a lot of money on them. You just have to look at the production, the prize money, you know, all of this to see that these guys are, you know, spending a lot of money to put these tournaments on. And when you get events like this, when there's pullouts, when there's injuries, you know, it's not good for the tournament's future. So in future, they do need to future plan a little bit better. Like I said, you know, better standbys for a start, or just be more willing to reschedule. But yeah, both tournaments, the Cruiserweight tournament and the Super Middleweight tournament, are the opposite of each other. One has run extremely smoothly, the other not so much. But I am all for these World Boxing Super Series. I am all for tournaments. I think it's the nearest we're going to get to the best fighting the best, without politics getting in the way. So I'm all for them. You know, we see the welterweight division being held up by, to be quite frank, prima donnas, and they're not fighting each other. But then we have the Cruiserweight tournament, where all of these guys are smashing lumps out of each other and putting on great shows, unifying titles, giving us all the things we want to see. So I am all for tournament boxing, but the scheduling, the contingency plans need to be on point, because if they're not, you're going to struggle and you're going to maybe lose a lot of money as well. So yeah, just my thoughts on the pullout of Juergen Braehmer, my brief thoughts on his replacement, and my thoughts on the future of tournaments in boxing. Like I said, I really like them, but they need to be planned extremely well. But anyway, what do you guys think? Peace.